Ja, dames en heren, hallo allemaal. Welkom weer bij een nieuwe livestream op Dennis Gaming Show. Ja, even kort uitleggen. Ik had net dus een stream gedaan. Maar helaas kwam er wat tussen. De bel ging, de hond begon te blaffen. Dus dat redde hem niet. Dus ik kon gewoon eigenlijk niet meer verder bouwen. Excuses daarvoor, echt excuses. Nou, we gaan weer eigenlijk verder met carrière. Ik was eigenlijk net begonnen aan een eigen park. Maar ja, doordat men mij ging storen, was ik eigenlijk een beetje uit mijn concentratie. Ik bedoel, als ik ga bouwen, heb ik al volste concentratie nodig. Dus we gaan nu gewoon verder met een met nieuwe carrière. Gisteren, dat kunnen mensen trouwens zien op mijn Twitch kanaal, heb ik het beschermingsproject voor apen heb ik gedaan. Want ik hou dit eigenlijk ook livestreamen op YouTube. Zeg maar het tweede level. Alleen helaas ging dat niet helemaal goed via YouTube zoals het zou moeten gaan. Excuses daarvoor. Nou, dan gaan we vandaag beginnen met Pandapark. Nou, Pandapark is Bernard Goodwins nieuwste dierentuin. Vanaf de grond speciaal opgebouwd voor de panda's. Deze dierentuin biedt een unieke kans om de wereld te laten zien hoeveel de Goodwin Stichting weet over het fokken van dieren die op het punt staan uit te sterven. Tijd om je beste pootje voor te zetten. Nou, duidelijk. We gaan beginnen. Moeilijkheidsgraad staat op gewoon gemiddeld. Hè? Gewoon tussen makkelijk en moeilijk. Ik dacht ook van, weet je wat, we houden het wel gewoon op gemiddeld. Het is wel leuk, het is wel makkelijk. Moeilijk is toch een wat zwaardere uitdaging. Maar goed, dat misschien voor de volgende keer.
Ah, pandas. They're my daughter's favorite animal. I think it's fair to say that if ever there was an animal which has captured the public's imagination, it's pandas. Oh, well, that's assuming you ignore cats and dogs, obviously. It'll take more than a cute bear to knock them off of the top spot. Oh, but did you know? Thanks to the incredible conservation work that's being done in China and around the world, pandas are no longer endangered. Amazing! That said, they're still considered vulnerable. So, this zoo is extraordinarily lucky and honored to be part of that conservation effort. It really speaks to our reputation, a reputation that you're going to be in charge of maintaining, along with all the general maintaining, too. I really can't tell you how important the welfare of those pandas is. Oh, wait, I can. It is vitally important. The eyes of the world are on you, my friend. Although, perhaps more pressingly, the eyes of Nancy are on you, too.
Welcome to China. This
Welcome
is
in
Bernie's
China.
brand new Panda Celebration Zoo. So new, in fact, that it's not quite finished. But we'll deal with that later. First, let's take a tour of the zoo.
Ja, oké.
Obviously, the giant pandas are the main attraction for this zoo, and luckily for us, we have one which was born just a few days ago. Let's go and have a look at it. Go on, don't be shy. Select the panda cub. And click on the camera to enter animal camera mode. Oh, Doesn't it just warm the cockles of your heart? So cute! Did you know that giant pandas, or Ailuropoda melaleuca if we're being formal, are the only entirely herbivorous bears? They can actually eat up to 38 kilos of bamboo a day. Not that surprising, given that they'll spend up to 14 hours a day chomping away. I don't imagine this little fluff ball has that kind of appetite yet, though. Oh no. I just got word from one of our keepers that a sable antelope was placed into a habitat without going through quarantine first, and that they're displaying signs of disease. We'll have to move them into quarantine to stop the infection from spreading to the other animals. To do that, go to the highlighted habitat, find the infected animal, and then select them to bring up their information panel. Good. Now click Move and then transfer them into quarantine. I've highlighted the quarantine facility in the zoo for you.
Even kijken. Nee, nee. Is er maar één trouwens? Volgens mij wel, hè?
Good. Now click Move and then transfer them into quarantine. I've highlighted the quarantine facility in the zoo for you.
Even verplaatsen. Ja.
Oh, phew. That's a relief.
Zo, opgelost.
Now that we've stopped the infection from spreading any further, we need to build a vet surgery so the antelope can be treated and then returned to his habitat. I've already highlighted where I'd like you to build it, so why don't we head over there? In order to build the vet surgery, click on Facilities, Staff Facilities, and then Vet Surgeries. That's the job.
Hey,
Vet
en het
surgeries
sneeuwt.
play a very
Leuk.
important role in a zoo, as they're the only places that vets can treat the animals. Once there's room for the antelope, the vet will pick them up from quarantine and bring them to the surgery. Yes, diseases can spread through a habitat quite easily, especially if the water inside it isn't being cleaned regularly. As it happens, I just got a report that one of our water treatment facilities has broken down and the water in the flamingo and saltwater crocodile habitats has gotten dirty. I've highlighted the water treatment facility for you, so you should go and check it out. Click on the water treatment facility to bring up its information panel. Yes, I don't think you need a degree in mechanics to tell that this thing's thoroughly banjaxed. Click Call Mechanic to get him to come over and fix it for us. So,
Is al
just to
gebeurd.
explain, water treatment facilities work in a similar manner to power sources, in that they have a radius of influence around them. That means any body of water which is even partly within that radius will be cleaned automatically. Also, like power sources, if they get damaged, that radius of influence will shrink, meaning that it might stop cleaning water sources which were only just within its reach. If you want to check how much of your zoo is covered by your water treatment facilities, then there's a heat map you can use to see the coverage. That way, you can quickly spot problem areas and rectify the issue. Good work.
Goed
Now
zo.
that the water treatment facility has been repaired, the
Dat duurde
water will
lang.
be cleaned up in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. You can also use mechanics to repair power facilities, transport rides, spins, benches, signs, and, as you already know, habitat barriers. Now, I'll be honest, I'm still a little worried about that disease scare we had, so I think we should do some research into it. Doing research into a disease can help prevent future outbreaks of it. And even if we do have an outbreak, it'll make the disease much less potent. I'd like you to start some research into bordetalosis. Disease research can be found in vet research, so head over to your research centre and get one of the vets researching it.
En dan hebben we nu 1 ster behaald.
Lovely job.
Top.
Once that research is complete, I expect we'll send that disease packing in no time.
Whew! That was a close-run thing with those antelopes. I dread to think what
Ben ik
might
een
have
beetje
happened
snel
if you
doorheen
hadn't
ga.
got him into
Ja, wel
quarantine
mooi.
as quickly as you did. Fast thinking there.
Dus gaat het
We
op
had a
gemiddeld
horrible
staat. Kijk, en nou
outbreak of
regent
viral
het weer. Het weer
gastroenteritis
is echt
here at Goodwin
verschillend hier.
House. Although, luckily, that was just limited to me and my wife.
Right. Now that we've got all our urgent tasks in hand, we can start to focus on the guests and improving their time in the park. You see, you can also do research into new and improved guest facilities, transport rides, as well as new types of barrier and other things via the workshop. I've highlighted the workshop for you, so head over there, select it, and then click on View Workshop. And finally, assign a mechanic to research souvenir shops by dragging and dropping them onto it. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Is het een momento?
Great stuff. That research will take a little while, so let's have a look at something else in the meantime. Because we've had some good news.
Oh, ik ben benieuwd.
It turns out that we're allowed to adopt more giant pandas. The authorities have given us 3 females to help with our breeding program. Even so, I'm sure you know how notoriously difficult it is to get pandas to breed, so we'll have to be patient. Our current giant panda habitat is full to the brim, but luckily we've already got another habitat ready to go. But before we move our new pandas in, they'll need to go through quarantine. Of course, we can't do that until we've accepted them. So open up animal trading and go into the animal reward section. Just click Transfer to Animal Storage next to each of the pandas, and then they'll be sent there. Finally, we can send them from animal storage to quarantine. To do that, just select them in animal storage, then click Send to Zoo, and then click on the quarantine facility in the zoo. Don't worry, I've highlighted it for you so you can find it
nog
easily.
eentje, gered en hoppa.
While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas.
Gaan we even kijken.
While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas.
Ik ben benieuwd hoe lang het gaat duren. En dan moesten we maar even eigenlijk maar één panda eigenlijk verplaatsen naar dit verblijf. Even kijken, panda. Even kijken, verblijf. Even kijken, oké. Hier nog eentje zo. Gaat naar het terrein. Top. Deze kunnen weg. Kijk, nature, oftewel natuur. Continent is Azië. En gematigd. Nou, oké. Een voerstation.
Good news. Our new female pandas have been given a clean bill of health. You'd best move them into the new habitat so they can settle in. And I hope you've made their habitat as comfy as possible, because animals will only breed if they're happy.
Verplaats je reuzenpanda's van het nieuw verblijf. Oké. Verplaatsen. Nou.
Oh, bless.
Top.
I think
Nou,
they'll
kijk,
be
we hebben al
really
gehad.
happy in there. Fingers crossed we'll see some lovely new cubs sooner rather than later. Right. While they're being delivered, we'd better get on with something else. Oh, dear me. There's never any time to rest when you're running a zoo, is there? Well, unless you hit the pause button. Okay, I think it's time I taught you all about work zones. I know, they don't sound as interesting as the animals, but trust me, they're ever so useful. You see, work zones are a way of making sure that your staff concentrate on specific habitats or tasks within the zoo, so they aren't wandering off elsewhere when it's time to feed the animals or the like. So let's start by creating a new work zone and then assigning a keeper to it so that they know to look after the new pandas. To do that, go into the zoo section, then click on staff and then work zones. Then click on your new keeper to bring up their information panel and go to their employment tab. At the bottom, you can assign them to your new work zone from the drop-down menu.
Oké.
At the bottom, you can assign them to your new work zone from the drop-down menu.
Wat mis ik ervan?
At the bottom, you can assign them to your new work zone from the drop-down menu. To set up your new work zone, I'll need you to select the highlighted habitat gate, staff room, and keeper hut. Oh, and don't forget to name it something useful. Once you're done, just go ahead and exit the work zone creator. Now let's hire a new keeper and assign them to our new work zone. We don't want them getting distracted by other goings-on in the zoo. Go on, hire one. Now let's hire a new keeper and assign them to our new work zone. We don't want them getting distracted by other goings-on in the zoo. Go on, hire one. There you go. Now your keeper will focus his attention on our new pandas. Oh, and just so you know,
Hebbers.
all types of staff can be assigned work zones. Just make sure that they have access to all the buildings that they need. And one last thing. You might find it faster to assign them from the Work Zones tab in the Staff section of Zoo Management. That'll save you having to chase around selecting your staff one by one. Oh, it sounds like the brand research has been completed. You should collect your rewards. And you can do that by clicking on the notification or by going back into mechanic research. Now that we've got our lovely new Just a Memento shop designed, you should build one of them near the zoo's exit. That way the guests won't miss it on their way out and we won't miss out on their money.
Faciliteiten. Shops. wat ruimte maken, want ik merk dat het dus niet past.
Oh, that's ever so wonderful, that is.
Oeh, een
Anyway,
houtafdrukje
I'm
hoor.
just off for a moment, but I'm
Kanonnen.
sure I'll have some more jobs for you to look at shortly.
Nou, we hebben voor 2 sterren nu gehaald, dus we gaan nu voor goud.
Aw, those pandas look just adorable. I can see why people keep foolishly forgetting that they're wild bears. And good work on that new gift shop branding. Just a memento. Very clever. Much better than our old overpriced gifts branding. I'm all for truth in advertising, but it was perhaps a little on the nose.
Back as promised. Right, I'd like you to increase the number of different species in the zoo. Now, you can find out what species are already in your zoo by going into the zoo section and then into the animals area. And if you're wondering how you're going to fit them all in, then mixed species habitats are a great way to save space and create interesting habitats. Just make sure to check the Zoopedia to find out which species enjoy living together. E.g., don't mix lions with antelopes.
Even kijken wat voor dieren we nu allemaal al eigenlijk hebben. Kijk, we gaan naar de dierenhandel. Gewoon normale beren. Oh. Lekker dan. gaat de goede kant op. Eens even kijken. Kijk of deze dieren wel met een ander dier kunnen. Je zou in principe met een stepzebra kunnen. Dan gaan we eens even kijken. Een zebra. Of die ertussen staat. Ik denk het niet. Ik hoop het wel. Ik durf het niet te zeggen. Ja, we gaan zo meteen even het opknappen. Nee. Dus deze beren gaan we even... Even kijken. Verblijf, reuzenpandas. Nee, want die hebben we namelijk al gehad. Filters, soort. Top. Ruimte hebben ze zat. Speeltjes. We gaan even kijken van de onderzoek. Want ik wil de zebra graag hebben. Dus even kijken. Thema. Even. Oost-Azië thema. Nee. Voor. Zebra's. Zebra. Ja, maar er is ook niet bepaald veel keuze. Jongen. Vind ik al minder. Vind ik echt... met het verleden kon ze nog meer leven. Even kijken hoor. Giraffe, struisvogel, ja. Springbok. Ja. Moet toch een dier zijn waarmee je zo'n gevaarlijk kunnen samenleven. Die in ieder geval in die ook niet. Nou. Ook niet.
I'm sure you know by now how to make your animals happy. So you'd best get that sorted before the inspector gets here. Sorry, did I not mention there was an inspector coming? Oh dear.
Dat is al opgelost. Het is te koud. Daar gaan we even voor zorgen dat het in ieder geval iets warmer wordt. Verblijf. Even stroom neerzetten. Wat krijg je dat weer? Top. Top, 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 top. Even kijken naar de dierentuin zelf. Om de oude dieren dus nu eigenlijk nooit een blij zien te maken. Niet dat ze daar genoeg ruimte hebben. Ik vind wel een mooi betere ruimte. Ik krijg hem even fout. Oh. Oh mijn god. Ja, het houdt soms wat in om, om iets te bouwen. Zo, ik hoop dat het nu wel lukt. Mm. Ik kan hem even doorspoelen. Mm. Oké, dan ga ik even het een beetje opnieuw inrichten. Nee, flamingo's gaan even kijken. Oh, het ziet er wel een stuk beter uit, in ieder geval dan net gelukkig. Dus dat is een goed teken. Mm. Natuur, even kijken. Gematigd van tropisch. Azië, nou perfect. Flamingo, even kijken.
Looks like you've got everything humming away nicely. Well done. Oh, well, it seems that with our new pandas and other species, we've attracted lots and lots of new guests. Let's work on making sure those guests are kept happy. That means making sure they have great views of the animals, lots of places to buy food and drink, and, well, lots of places to get rid of food and drink. Toilets. You should think carefully about where to put your guest facilities, though. For
Zet
instance,
bijvoorbeeld.
don't put all of the food shops in the same place. Just look at how the guests are distributed around the park and put your facilities where they'll be needed the most. As long as you remember to pay attention to what the guests are thinking, you'll soon have a handle on what everyone wants.
Op zich, het ziet er goed uit. Ik ga nu nog even een groepje soda neerzetten. Mensen moeten wel kunnen eten en drinken.
Tasty.
Even eten. Top. En ik nog even een toilet. Of een klein toiletje. Of even zorgen naar dit bedrag hier naartoe sturen. Dat is een informatiecentrum. Faciliteiten.
Sounds like the inspector's almost here. Now, I fully expect you to pass with
Ik verwacht dat ik
flying
slaag.
colours.
Ja, ja.
Anything less, and I might have to organise a little job exchange scheme for you with whoever's mucking out the pandas.
Die gaat dus even lekker drinken. Ik ben echt dorst. Nou, we gaan de goede kant op met de dierentuin. Fantastisch. Ik ga hem even doorspoelen. Ja, jij gaat de goede kant op. We gaan er gewoon even volgen. Kijk, een inspectrice is zo belangrijk om te controleren of je dieren wel voldoende eten, drinken hebben. Ik bedoel, dat is wel belangrijk. Yes, we hebben hem gehaald.
I really can't believe just how much you've come on during our time together. It goes to show, Bernie's got a keen eye for talent. Oh, and speaking of Bernie, he's not finished with you yet. He's got a new job for you in Canada.
No.
I get the feeling that you'd best pack a warm coat. Oh, listen, it's been wonderful getting to know you, and I'm sure we'll meet again. But in the meantime, good luck.
Nou, top.
I've been told that there are smiles on the faces of all of the guests. And that's a real testament to the hard work you've put into this place. And if anything, I hear the animals look even happier. Although, in all honesty, it's hard to tell with the pandas. They're so, enigmatic. I'm told that Lin-Lin's quite the character, though. Oh, she's really been a hit with the visitors. You could even say the business is bam-booming. And, fingers crossed, we might even be able to feature pandas at some of my other zoos, now that you've shown everyone we know how to cater for their welfare. I shouldn't be surprised, though. After all, you've become a very capable trainee zoo manager. I suspect there isn't a single task I could throw at you which you wouldn't handle with aplomb. That said, I
Ik ben
think
het
the
met
next
Bernie
one's gonna
eens.
be a
Ja,
bit of a curveball.
zeker. Dus ik ben Bernie eens. We gaan hem even opslaan. Pandapark. Voltooid. Terug naar hoofdmenu. Ja, ik heb hem opgeslagen, dus dat is een goed teken. Planet Zoo. Ik vind het een van de geweldige spelletjes. Echt geweldig. Zoals ik al eerder aangaf op mijn streams, is dat ik het, zeg maar, in het begin vond ik het... Ja, als kijker best wel sceptisch over. Ik wist niet wat ik zou moeten verwachten eigenlijk, maar ja, geweldig. Nou, zoals je ziet, we hebben geen nieuwe... Dus we moeten, zeg maar, eigenlijk nog deze uitspelen. Wildlife Park Esdoorn, dat is zeg maar voor de volgende keer. Nou, ik moet zeggen, dat gaat wel goed komen. Dat gaat wel echt goed komen. Nou, dit was Planet Zoo livestream voor vanmiddag. Morgenochtend gaan we Wildlife Park Esdoorn spelen op deze livestream. En voor iedereen zeg ik nu van, nou, een hele fijne zaterdagavond toegewenst. En natuurlijk een fijne zondag. En voor degenen die niet kijken, alvast een fijn nieuwe werkweek. Doei doei. Pas op. Doei.